Assalamu alaikum, this is Nabila Segdar Tama. Welcome you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Upcoming national election in February to be foundational one to determine the future of Bangladesh, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. Chinese investment accelerated 300 folds in past 6 months, says Commerce Advisor. Vote counting underway in JU, CSU and Hall Union elections. Brief engulfs entire campus following death of polling agent. Alongside dengue, number of chikungunya cases on rise. Experts suggest to take doctor's advice in case of fever. Nepal's army resumes talk with protesters to pick interim leader. And Bangladesh make winning start in Asia Cup campaign, thrashing Hong Kong by 7 wickets at Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Viewers, those were the headlines. Are moving on to the details. A meeting of the National Consensus Commission was held at the State Guest House Yamuna yesterday with Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus in the chair. The two-hour meeting focused on discussing the proposal put forward by the Consensus Commission regarding the implementation of the July Charter as well as the proposals from political parties on the matter. Commission members stated that the Commission would soon submit its report to the interim government. The National Consensus Commission will convene again with political parties next Sunday to further discuss the issue in move the process forward. The proposal of 6-member committee formed to work on the implementation of the July Charter were also presented in the meeting. Chief Advisor Professor Yunus said that reform is one of the 3 main mandates of the current interim government. He noted the issue of the July Charter must be considered with the same level of importance as election and justice. Professor Yunus also stressed the significance of the upcoming national election, stating the national election schedule for February is not just a general election. It will be a foundational election that will determine the future path of Bangladesh. He reiterated the importance of finalizing necessary reforms before the election. At the same time, we must keep in mind that we have no alternative to holding elections in the first half of February, he added. The meeting was attended by Consensus Commission Vice Chairman Professor Ali Riaz, Commission Member Justice Muhammad Imdad al-Haq, Dr. Iftikhar Zaman, Dr. Bodiul Alam Mujumdar, Dr. Muhammad Ayub Mia, and Special Assistant to Chief Advisor Munir Haider. Interim Government Advisors Muhammad Fozul Kabir Khan, Asif Nozrul, Saida Rizwana Hassan, and Dr. Khalilur Rahman were also present at the meeting. After the formation of the interim government, the pace of Chinese investment has accelerated, said Trade Advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin, adding, over the past 6 months, Chinese investment in Bangladesh has increased 300-fold. He made the remark today at the inauguration of the second Bangladesh-China Trade and Investment Exhibition, organized in Dhaka's International Convention City, Boshundhara, as part of strengthening Bangladesh-China bilateral relation as a Belt and Road initiative. Chinese Ambassador to Bangladesh, Yao Wen, Additional Secretary of Ministry of Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Mohammad Shabur Hussain, Additional Secretary of Economic Relation Division, Mirana Makrouk and leader of the Bangladesh Chinese Enterprises Association were present at the event. The advisor said that in the last year, Bangladesh signed bilateral trade agreement with 20 Chinese companies involving a total investment of 400 million US dollars. The exhibition features products and services from enterprises in multiple sectors, including engineering and construction, heavy machinery, technology and telecommunications, banking and financial services, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, agriculture and fruit processing, logistics and supply chain. After 33 years, the Jahangirnagar University's Central Students' Union Jucsu election has been held. Following nearly 68% voters' turnout, vote counting is currently underway. However, a pall of grief has descended over the entire campus after Janatul Firdaus, a polling agent and an assistant professor in the Department of Fine Arts, suddenly fell ill and passed away during the vote counting process. Voting took place continuously from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Thursday, after which counting began at 10 p.m. at the Senate building. Although the plan was to use the OMR system for counting, objections from several panels led to the votes being counted manually. Law enforcement has been deployed across the Jahangirnagar University campus to ensure security around the election. This year's Jucsu election had a total of 11,759 registered voters. In the Central Parliament, 177 candidates contested for 25 positions, including 9 for Vice President and 8 for General Secretary. Additionally, 445 candidates contested various posts in the whole parliaments. Just hours after voting ended, candidates from 4 progressive student panel, Shomproti Oikko, Shongshoptok Porishod, Shadhin Odhikar Porishod, and a partial panel of the Socialist Student Front announced their boycott of the election, alleging vote rigging and demanding a re-election. Candidates from the BNP-affiliated Jatitabadi Chhatra Dol panel also rejected the election on the same grounds. The dengue More than 36,000 people have been infected with dengue fever and 145 deaths have been reported so far this year. Alongside dengue, the number of chikungunya cases is also on the rise. Doctor cautioned that based on patients' symptoms, the prevalence of dengue and chikungunya may rise further in September. Fever, cold, cough, sore throats, severe body ache and diarrhea are being widely reported in households across the capital. In such circumstances, experts urge people to remain health cautious and consult physician immediately if fever or other symptoms appear. They also recommended using mosquito nets even during the daytime, wearing long-sleeve clothing and adopting protective measures to reduce mosquito bites. Experts warn that to prevent mosquito-borne diseases, authorities must intensify anti-mosquito drives. Liberation, War and Disaster Management and Relief Advisor Farukh held a view exchange meeting with the leaders of Chattogram Metropolitan Sports Association at the city's Circuit House this afternoon. The advisor provided various directions aimed at making the Metropolitan Sports Association more effective. Metropolitan Sports Association Joint Secretary Mohammad Shahabuddin presided over, among others, Executive Member Taibur Rahman, Sports Organizer Niaz Mohammad Khan, Mumtazuddin Rukhu, journalist Osman Goni Mansoor and Debashish Borwa Debu and others concerned persons spoke. BNP Standing Committee member Dr. AZM Jahad Hussain today said division among political parties will pave the way for the return of autocracy. Dr. Jahad made the remark while talking to journalists after laying a wreath with leaders and activists of the Diploma Engineer Association Bangladesh at the grave of Shohid President Ziaur Rahman in Sher-e-Bangla in the capital. Dr. Jahad called for unity, urging those who fought for democracy not to engage in the politics of division. Now, international news. Nepal's army is resuming talks with protesters to pick an interim leader for the Himalayan nation after violence that removed the government of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, according to an army spokesperson. Soldiers were patrolling the quiet city of Kathmandu for a second day on Thursday following the worst protests in decades, triggered by a social media ban that authorities rolled back after deadly protests this week. Nepal's President Ramchandra Podal, meanwhile, said he is seeking to end to the crisis engulfing the country. Podal also urged Nepalis to practice restraint and cooperate to maintain peace and order in the country. Army spokesperson Raja Ram Basant told the Raater news agency earlier on Thursday that initial talks are on and would continue, referring to the discussion on an interim leader. "We are trying to normalize the situation slowly," he said. The United Nations Security Council has condemned Israel's deadly attack on Qatar's capital, Doha, although it did not mention Israel in the statement, which was decided by the 15 members, including the United States. Qatar's Prime Minister addressed the Council saying Israel leader Benjamin Netanyahu must be brought to justice for state terrorism. He also said Qatar would continue engaging in diplomatic efforts to stop the bloodshed in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israeli forces continue to bombard the Gaza Strip, killing dozens of people on Thursday, including several aid seekers, as military intensifies attack amid a plan to displace its 1 million residents and seize the city. At least 53 Palestinians were killed in Thursday's attack. Netanyahu signs an agreement to push ahead with the E1 illegal settlement expansion plan, pledging that there will be no Palestinian state. Israel's aggression in Gaza has killed at least 64,656 people and wounded 163,503 people since October 2023. Thousands more are believed to be under the rubble. Back to national news. BNP and its associate organization of Shikarpur and Borishchor Union of Hatajari Upazila organized a rally to celebrate the 47th founding anniversary of Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP) at Nojmiya Hat in the city today. Chattogram North District BNP leader Mohammad Harun Rashid presided over, while advisor to the BNP chairperson and valiant freedom fighter SM Fazlul Haq was present as a chief guest. Fazlul Haq said President Ziaur Rahman was not just the proclaimer of independence but also a great man of political history for establishing multi-party democracy. Ziaur Rahman's ideology and philosophy of nationalism have redefined the nation's sovereignty, he added. Former Hatajari Upazila Chairman and BNP General Secretary Mahabul Alam Chaudhry, Al-Haj Nur Nabi Talukdar, Al-Haj Zakir Hussain, Chairman, among others, addressed the occasion. The two-day Children's Festival and reunion began today at the Art Gallery of Chattogram District Shilpakala Academy on the occasion of the 33rd anniversary of Kids Cultural Institute. Dainik Azadi editor M.A. Malik inaugurated the program as a chief guest. He said, "Children love to dream, and juvenile writers and cultural workers love to show their dream. Juvenile writers work tirelessly to create children's literature and involve children in the beautiful world of creativity with a view to eliminate the ugliness of the human mankind." Organized with the slogan, "Come, let's all learn to love, let's learn to love the country," the first day's program included children's rally, cultural competition, talk show by children and adolescents engaged in hazardous labor, cultural performance, reception to eminent personalities, children's literary conference, and children's literature reading. Deputy Director of District Social Services Department, Mohammad Faridul Alam, was present as the chief guest at the program. Saifuddin Ahmad Saki, Joint Convener of Festival Celebration Committee, presided over the discussion session, while Dr. Shorav Shaukat, Convener of the Festival Celebration Committee, delivered welcome address.